Pleased now to be joined by Anthony Showtime Pettis. Great to see you, mate. The stage is set. You got to get the finish this weekend. How much are you relishing the challenge and the unique format of PFL?
Yeah, I'm actually excited about the opportunity, like that I still can be in this format, and the season, the playoffs, everything that comes along with it. My fighting style always looks for the finish. That's what I do. I look for finishes. I try to finish fights. I can make it entertaining. I keep it fun. This time around, I'm going to be a different fighter. I'm going to be a lot more basic, a lot more clean. The first fight taught me a lot of things that I'm going to adjust in this fight. And, I think I went home and made the right choices on training and the right camp moves. And I feel good.
You're up against Raush Manfio, 12-3, a Team Nogueira guy. He's coming off a split decision. How do you see yourself finishing him?
Knockout. He said he's going to knock me out. I've never been even touched like that. No one's even close to knocking me out in that cage. So, I feel like I have to knock this guy out. And maybe I might rock him and get him a submission too. If I rock him and he shoots at the submission, but I'm hunting for that knockout. I'm not going to be playing fancy kicks and trying to throw like all these flashy moves. I'm putting my hands on his chin.
You got a lovely head kick in the Clay Collard fight. How do you look back on it, and what adjustments from that do you feel that you need to make for Raush?
My first time fighting in the PFL, cage, I just felt like I wasn't used to the flooring. It was like some vinyl flooring, and it's not really good for kicking. So I realized that in my first fight. So now I'm gonna go back. I focus on my punching. I've been posting everything I've been working on, so he knows what I'm doing.
Do you think that out of all the promotions in the world, PFL has the most potential to kind of blow up in a crazy way? Because the way that America embraces their sport, the format of PFL is something that nobody else is doing. So do you think that gives it the potential to skyrocket?
Most definitely. I think, well, obviously, like, fighting's fighting, I don't care what language you speak, you know what fighting is. So that's one thing that, penetrates every border. And then you put that format to it where the average fan can follow it. It just makes sense, man. And, for us as athletes, we're getting treated. This year, it's kind of hard with the coronavirus to tell how this actually process really feels. We had a lot of quarantines going into this, a lot of different things that we all had to make do with. But I feel like the format they're placing, look at this year, man. Like the people that are talking about Kevin Hart, Wiz Khalifa. Some of Ray Lewis, some of the biggest names in sports are getting behind this thing. So it's going to blow up. It is blowing up.
Do you feel settled in with everything that's been happening, or is it still going to be an adjustment period? You're in the UFC for so long.
No, I feel like I'm settling in. I think the first fight I had to get that first fight out of the way. I had so much. I put that pressure on myself to go be Showtime and go perform. And I came in there with that fighting style against a guy who had solid boxing, and you saw the results. The boxing took over in that fight. So I took it pieces from that fight. I'm still learning and getting better, and I'm going to become. I have the ability to be a whole different fighter out there. I can go out there and change my whole format. So that's what you guys are going to see this fight: a whole new Anthony Pettis, a whole different Anthony Pettis, and I feel like I know what I need to do to make sure my spots secured in this playoffs. I've been here before. My UFC debut, I lost my UFC debut against Clay Guida 10 years ago, exactly to the day, which is fucking crazy. June. Yeah, so 10 years ago from right now, I lost my debut to Clay Guida. And I went on a 5-fight win streak, got my title defense. So I've been here before.
You've got some great records in your career. How much would it mean to you to be the first guy to get that hat trick of WEC, UFC, PFL? That would be something else, wouldn't it?
Oh, I'm not stopping, man. I'm going, bro. I'm like look, a loss is just a minor setback. Some guys look at these losses like retirement, and the sport's so crazy, man. Anything can happen. Everybody's good. So it's just finding that right recipe to get that winning process going. And I'm excited to go find it. I'm in the gym. I'm training. I love what I do. This is my passion. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be around for a while.
You got those records, but you're known for your highlights. I feel like it wasn't so long ago that Superman punch against Stephen Thompson. Where do you rank that for you in terms of your favorite moments of your career, or which is your favorite moment?
That's up there. Wonderboy was big because I was coming off a loss to Tony Ferguson, and then the world's like, why the hell would he go fight Wonderboy? The first, his first fight at 170 pounds, to go fight. I think Wonderboy was number 3 in the world at that time too when I called him out. So when I got that knockout, I know what I'm capable of, man. That's the thing. Like, I just gotta go out there and do it. You know, it's all in here, and I'm finding that process. I'm finding that rhythm. And I'm being polite to myself. That's one thing that I found out. You know, when you're so hard on yourself and you're mean and your biggest critic, you limit your growth. And I feel like now I'm realizing, you know, mistakes will happen, setbacks will happen. It's just how do you rebound and how do you push back.
Sergio winning the Bellator title is massive. How significant is that for your family that you both reached that height of world championships?
That's what I set out for, man. When I started this sport, you know, he followed in my footsteps. I never forced Sergio to follow my footsteps. It was always him wanting to train, wanting to learn. And, you know, when he chose this as a career, I didn't say it out loud, but I kind of like, you know, in my head, I'm like, yo, it's kind of on me. You know, I got to make sure this kid has a good life and make sure, you know, when we lost our dad, I made sure that he had a big brother to follow, a big brother to look up to. And I'm still trying to be that person for him, man. And now it's cool to see him winning his belts and like, he's here with me and he's giving back to me, you know, and it's just, everything comes around full circle. It's just an amazing life. I'm blessed.
I remember interviewing you years ago and you talked about, you know, because you won the title very young and then you talked about more going out there and enjoying yourself and not being so focused on titles. I'm interested to see Nate Diaz. You know, since you fought him, he hasn't been able to put the wins together, but he's getting bigger purses and more popular than ever. Does that make sometimes you think about the concept of winning in this sport? Because he doesn't seem too bothered about winning in a way. He just likes to go out there and fight. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, he wants to win. Everybody wants to win, dude. No one wants to lose. You're only as good as your last performance. I mean, obviously the money's good and like the fame and all that comes along with it, but the more famous you are, the more people that know that you lost your last fight. So it kind of comes with that catch-22s, man. So like, you know, he definitely wants to win. You know, everybody wants to win, but it's just everybody's good, man. The top of the divisions of everybody organization, you know, there's good guys and they're hungry.
There seems to be more options for elite fighters than ever before. I saw you posting about Anderson's fight. How cool was that to see that? And of course, you know, Tyron Woodley, he looks like he's about to go out there and make a lot of money. How do you feel about a lot of the most well-known MMA fighters boxing now?
Oh man, awesome, bro. I think you know, Anderson Silva is a real striker that's actually boxing. You know, that's why we saw the performance we saw. You know, Woodley definitely has hands, you know, and then Ben Askren, you know, is a wrestler coming over. So now it's going to be interesting when like more of the strikers of MMA come over and start doing boxing because there are a lot of good boxers in MMA. So I think we'll see a lot more strikers from MMA come over and fight some real boxers and boxers. And no shots against like Jake Paul and them guys. I mean, them guys are definitely working and stuff, but they don't have the records and the accomplishments that Chavez Jr. has, you know. So it was amazing to see you know, Anderson go out there and do his thing against him. I'm an Anderson fan, man. Like I grew up watching Anderson Silva, and to see him do that at his age, I know he has that skill set, man. I've seen the way he trains, I've seen the way he performs. It's amazing, man. It's good for him.
Do you think Woodley gets a knockout?
I hope so, bro. He needs a knockout, man. I mean, not saying he can't force the knockout. Like the Paul brothers have some skills when it comes to boxing. They know the game. They have some of the repetition it takes to master that sweet science where it's like not just throwing bombs, like it's literally setting up punches, setting up rhythm, setting up ranges, fighting on you know, your terms and all that. When you understand that and you can watch, you know, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, you know, do their fights, you're like, okay, they know a little bit something about the sweet science of boxing. They're not just out there throwing bombs. And then you know, if Woodley comes out there and thinks he doesn't know that and he tries to overpower him with punches or like, you know, get sloppy, that's where he's going to get into trouble. So hopefully Woodley slows it down and really fights, you know, his sweet science. I think Woodley has the ability to knock him out, most definitely. Oh, my bad, somebody's calling me. Yeah, Woodley has the ability to knock him out, most definitely. We've seen him knock out some of the greats in mixed martial arts, but he has to set it up and he has to fight this sweet science. He can't go out there and make it a MMA fight.
Last one from me. What's your biggest goal for the rest of the year?
PFL champion. I'm not thinking of nothing else, man. I'm so focused on this, and I'm sacrificed so much. I just had a daughter. I left her at home, you know, to be here, and this is sacrifices I make to be the champ.
Showtime Pettis, you're the man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, bro.
Take a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.